They are in Jordan. They are in Jordan. Oh, can't hear anything. Can you hear?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah. So my mum and dad are in Jordan at the moment. They're living there, and they are lit. I said to Mum, "How long would it take you to get to the West Bank?" She said 10 minutes. So
everyone needs to mute. Yes, thank you, Susan.
So yeah, so they're watching right so close to Israel at the moment, and we just got some extra stories from my dad about Palestine, about our early visits there. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Raheel, you're muted.
There we go. So as I was saying, we'll come on to the main recipe first, and then we'll come to you shortly to do the vegan Musakhan rolls. Just once more, I'm going to ask everybody to please stay on mute. I am muting everybody from my end, but sometimes it allows you to unmute yourself. So I'm going to have to change that setting. Apologies. It always feels really rude when I do that, but it just means that everyone can listen in nice and clearly. So first things first, can everybody see this pot here that I've got my hand in? Obviously, there's no heat on that right now. So this is the main pot. I'm going to try and spotlight that for you. So just bear with me 1 second. Remove that. And add spotlight. Right, can everybody see this main pan down here? Great stuff. So first things first, let's get the heat on under that pan. If I can work it out, is it that one there?
It's
I'll let you do that.
want a high heat, low heat, medium?
High heat would be great, yeah.
There you go.
Fantastic. Actually, no, we'll turn it down a little bit. So if we just get that pan on a low heat to start off with, please, everybody. And we're just going to put into there just a tiny splash of water. Not too much, just a little bit, just to stop it from anything from burning. Like just maybe a tablespoon or so, just whilst we get everything in there. And so the first thing we're going to put in is the chicken. So what I've got here is one whole chicken, a medium chicken, about 1.2 kg, which has been skin taken off, quartered, so 4 large pieces. Some people did say they wanted to leave the skin on. That's fine. You can do if you want to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all of those pieces into the bottom of the pan like so. I'm actually going to put the neck piece in there as well. I know that might not look so nice for a lot of people, but that adds a lot of flavour. And I'm just going to quickly rinse my hands. Okay.
Hi, Amber Chrissy. How you doing?
Okay, so into this pan, I'd like you to put in approximately 1/8 teaspoon of garlic puree or grated garlic, whatever you wish, just on top of those pieces of chicken. And then we're going to mix this all in shortly. And then finally, I'd like you to put in half of the spice mix. So this is the spice blend. Hopefully you can see that just there, look. This is the spice blend of all the different spices that I put on the recipe list earlier.
I can't hear anything Sandra's saying.
Okay, let's just have a look. Oops, close that.
And that someone's asked for a recap of the spices.
Do that now. That's just on here. So the spices that we've got in here, I'll just read those through for you. So we've got 2 tablespoons of sumac, which is made from a beautiful red berry that's found in the Middle East. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg powder or ground nutmeg. 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and then 1/2 teaspoon each of green cardamom powder, ground mixed spice or allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of cumin powder. If you refer back to the recipe list that I gave you earlier, then that should all be there. And we're going to just add half of that mix into here. All right, so just half, and we're reserving the other half for the onions, which we'll do shortly. All right, like so. And then just give that a nice mix just to get everything mixed together. Like so. And then The final thing I'd like you to add is just the juice of 1 lime. Okay, so the juice of 1 lime. I've got a small lime here. So if it's a large lime, then half a lime should be sufficient. So don't overdo that, like so. And then just give it another mix. Just making sure that all the pieces of chicken are nicely coated in those spices. And then we're just going to pop the lid on there. And we're just going to let that cook for about 15-20 minutes until that's nicely cooked through. And then we're going to put that in the oven. All right. So whilst we've done that, then I'm just going to very quickly recap, because obviously we did quite a bit there very quickly. So what we did in the pan, we've got the 4 chicken pieces, so a whole chicken quartered in there with a tiny bit of water. We then added in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic puree on top of each piece, and then half of the spice mix that I just went through with you. The other half of the spice mix we're going to use for the onions. Okay. So does anyone have any questions? If you do, you can pop it into the chat function. I'm sure there's lots of questions coming through. Nadia and Dina, if you could just come off mute for a minute. Yeah, there we go. Can you hear me all right? So
Yeah.
obviously you're both keen cooks, so you might have the questions that other people might already have. So I'm going to come to you first. Was there anything you'd like me to recap that we've done so far?
I think maybe I didn't quite get what you'd put in the bottom of the pan. It wasn't oil or anything, was it? Was it just water?
It was just water. That's right. Yeah. So just water at this stage. So just the
Yeah.
water to allow a bit of steaming. And then what will happen is that oil will evaporate in a bit. And then we're going to add a little, sorry, the water will evaporate in a bit. Then we'll add a little bit of oil. And then we're going to put that in the oven.
Homera says, can we add more garlic if you want? I always say, you can add as much as you like.
I love garlic. When they say like 2 cloves of garlic, I put about 7 or 8 in there.
Yeah.
2 cloves. Right, so we're going not just allspice and sumac.
No, so everyone, if I could ask you to refer to the recipe list that I sent out or that you received through Eventbrite. So the recipe mix for the spice blend is all on that email. All right.
Are we still on medium-low heat?
Yes, we're on a medium-low heat with the lid on as well, please, everybody. That will allow that chicken just to nicely steam. Okay. And someone has kindly put in the recipe list on the chat as well. So if you missed that, you can go back to that and have a look.
Can we show them our top, please?
Of course we can. Yeah, here we go.
So
And I just want to say, Anna and Mike look like they're having a lot of fun.
Anna and Mike.
Mike's looking very hot in his.
Oh yeah, look, they're in red. Hello.
Give us a wave.
Hello.
Yeah,
Look, I've got this. Gaza, soul of my soul. I got this from Wear the Peace. All their donations go towards the Palestinian cause. So they've got some great stuff on there.
They have. And then I got this from an organization called Eid Party, actually. And this is the Soul of My Soul hoodie as well.
Oh, lovely.
They do that in adult size, children's size.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
Really nice colours. Nicely coordinated look.
I know, it was completely. So how do I go up and see who else is on?
So if we close that chat function for a minute, then you can scroll left to right. We've got like over 10 pages of people already. I think some people might have tried to join and then they've not been able to, and they've come back again.
Oh, Sarah's got her. Hello, Sarah, with your map on. Love that.
Oh, we'll hear it from Sarah later on.
Darren, you look like you're in bed. You're supposed to be cooking.
Oh, hi, Charlotte from Kites and Solidarity. Hi there.
He's taken a chilled out vibe. Doesn't he?
Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Tanya Collington. Hello, Tanya. I like your kitchen.
Ronya.
And hi, Tanya. Oh, look, the little one's coming. Oh,
Where?
No, there she is.
Oh, hello. How are you?
So how long is this going to be?
So this is just going to, right, so if we go back to the main screen, just scroll off this way a little bit. Right, everyone. So at this stage, because the chicken's had a little bit of time to steam, I'm just going to remove that lid and I'm just going to add in some oil. So a couple of tablespoons of oil. Now I'm using rapeseed oil, but you can use vegetable oil. You could use olive oil.
I've got olive oil here, straight from my farm in Morocco.
Oh, nice.
And we have olive trees and we press it. So that's, I know you're jealous, aren't you, Nadia and Dina? I'll send you some, I'll send you some. But it's yummy, absolutely yummy.
So what I've done there then, I've just added a couple of tablespoons of that oil. I'm just going to give that a good mix as well. And then you can turn those pieces over a little bit just to get a bit of browning on the other side. It's surprising how quickly these actually cook. With the water, that allows them to steam really well. And now with the oil, that'll allow a little bit of browning. And then we'll be able to pop that in the oven soon.
I'm always worried when I'm cooking chicken, especially like large pieces like that, that it doesn't cook through.
Yeah,
How long does it usually, I mean, I know it's going to cook better because you've got the top on,
that's it.
but how long does it usually take to get that cooked through?
So for large pieces like this, comfortably 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what sort of heat you've got on, what kind of heat source you're using. So we're using gas. So if anyone's using induction or electric, that might change the cooking time. But the other tip, which we're going to do today, is to finish it off in the oven.
Right.
So finishing it off in the oven just means that it cooks nicely all the way through.
And how long
particularly if
would
it's
you
on
put
the
it
bone.
in the oven for?
We're just going to have it in the oven for maybe 10 minutes max.
Okay.
So it'll be 20 minutes or so in the pan and then 10 minutes
Should
in
we
the
get
oven.
the oven on?
And that was going to be the very next thing I
Oh,
was going to
sorry.
say. Okay, so everybody, if I could ask you to turn your ovens on, please. So if you put them on 200 degrees C, that's fan. So 200 fan. And then we'll be putting the chicken into a roasting dish and into the oven shortly. All right.
Someone's Shoaib Mirza, is that your family?
Yes, I'm going to make him co-host so we can do some of the right. So just bear with me 1 second. Right, let's see. I keep going to chat, don't chat participants. Right. Make co-host. Yes, there we go. Okay, so sorry, just explain what I was doing there. So that people can donate to either to MAP or PSC. My brother and sister-in-law and daughter are all doing a bit of the moderation side of things. So they're going to be putting into the chat function the different links that you can use to join and other little bits of information. So please feel free to check that out as we go through. Let's
So
just see what the chat said.
someone said, I've missed a bit. Do I just chuck everything in?
Miss the details of everything.
Matt.
Yeah. So Matt, yeah. So what we need to do so far, yeah, chuck everything in, it'll be fine. So what you need to do, Matt, is in the pan then, what we've got is the chicken pieces. You put a little bit of water in, low to medium heat. We added in a bit of garlic paste on each piece of chicken, so approximately a full teaspoon in total, but you can put more if you wish. And then we added in half of the spice blend. We let that cook for about 5 minutes. And now we've added in a couple of tablespoons of oil. I've used rapeseed oil, but you can use olive oil or vegetable oil. And we're just letting that cook now. Okay. So that's it so far.
Unmute Nadia and Dina, because
Of course you can, yeah.
they're the bells of the ball, really.
They
let's
are.
be
There we
honest.
go. Could we turn that back heat on as well? Is that
Yes,
it?
of course you
That's
can.
okay.
Right. Don't say
There we
anything
go.
naughty, Nadia and Dina. Gets all into trouble.
I know you're tempted.
So, so let me tell you a story, people, about their dad, Nadia and Dina's father. When I was starting out as an actress, I used to do some modelling for a magazine called Sayyidati. It was like a Arab version of Vogue. Anyway, I wanted to get into acting, so the editor said to me, "Look, meet this guy. He's an actor, and he will look after you." Now, in the modelling and acting world, it can be a bit, you know, you never know who you're going to meet, and you don't know, you know, you're a bit weary of people. Anyway, I phoned their father up, and he was the most gracious, most beautiful, most supportive man, and he just loves women in the sense that he was so supportive, and the fact that I was an Arab Muslim woman, you know, he just wanted to see more of us on TV, really. And so he'll always be in my heart, girls, because I mean, I'm getting emotional now.
Me too.
Honestly,
Me too. And
I can't
actually,
tell
when we
you that. And
when
I'm
we
like,
said
I'm a
we were going to,
chatterbox, Nadia. I can talk, Dina, for like, you know, I'd have him on the phone, and where do I go? What do I do? And he was so patient with me. Oh, I love him, so please.
Oh,
just-
that's a
And-
lovely story. Thank you so
And
much.
he sent you the biggest of hugs, because of course it's much later there, so they were hoping to
Yeah.
join, but I don't know. But he said you were such a wonderful girl, as he
I
said.
love him. I
A
love him.
wonderful girl. And you know what is so lovely? The amount of people that my dad's helped that we hear about
Yeah.
through the years. And
Yeah.
in fact, a few years ago, what was about 8-9 years ago, this young man came to him and he had a very similar story. And he said, "You won't remember me, but you took me on a set, on a film set. And you just opened my eyes to film and da da da." Anyway, he arrived with this amazing part that he'd written for my dad, having remembered him when he was from 8 years old.
Wow,
And
wow.
it won all loads of the film
Yeah.
festivals, and my dad had this like starring role in it, you know, because my dad was a real sort of jobbing supporting actor through his life, which is a great thing. And it was because, you know, it's like those little things you
Yeah.
can do for people, the way they come back to you. It's just so lovely. Thank
Yeah, but
you.
he's always-
Thank you for that.
He's just so generous, and I just think, you know, like
He
he's
is.
one of the first in like the West that was from that background doing this, because there were very few, you know. There were
Yeah.
He's a feminist. My
He's
dad's a
what?
feminist.
No,
My dad
he's
is a feminist.
complete feminist. I mean, you've got to think where I was like in the modelling world. So you meet some weirdos and you think, oh, this is going to be another one. And then no, he was so, oh, I love him. I love him.
Oh, thank you. That means so much to us,
It's
honestly.
adorable.
Thank you so much.
We're
yeah.
missing them so much, and
He's a
so
good
yeah,
man.
it's
He's
like,
you're
let's
very
cry
lucky
now.
girls. Very lucky girls.
Well,
having this
I
father.
think we're going to have more stories from Nadia and Dean in a little while, certainly about their family. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to very quickly do the onions, if that's okay, because once we get the onions on, then
We'll
we've got a
let
little
you-
bit
we'll
more
let you-
time.
We're gonna have a cry.
We've then got a little bit more time to have some more
I
stories.
might even put some Arabic music on and we can all have a little belly dance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So next pan, then you can see I've got another pan here at the front, just on a medium heat. Okay. And what I'd like you to do is just to add in there approximately 4 tablespoons of oil. Now it sounds like a lot, but we're using a lot of onions, all right? And we want these onions to go really nice and almost translucent, not quite caramelized. So we don't want them to go really dark brown, but you'll see the color that we're looking for in a minute. So into the pan, 4 tablespoons of oil, in go all the onions, and you can see I've got them sliced there rather than chopped. And once they're in the pan, then we can just turn the heat up a little bit. So that's more of a medium to high heat now. And then just a final drizzle of olive oil over the top. And we're just going to start cooking these onions through. In a few minutes, then we're going to add in the remainder of the spice mix to get these onions beautifully flavored as well. All right, so just pop that there for a minute. I'll just make sure we've not got anything. So onions. So we've got 3 medium-sized onions. So if they're large, you may only need a couple. To be honest with you, there's not really an exact amount. If you love onions, do more, right? If you don't like onions, do a little bit less. And if you do too many, you can always let them cool down, put them in the fridge and use them at another time as well. And Grainy, is that how you pronounce it? Grainy Scarlet is saying, I'm starting to drool already. Gosh, that's early. We've not even got partway through the recipe yet. So, and Maria's saying she loves onions. That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so now these onions are starting to sizzle a little bit. I'm going to add the remainder of that spice mix in, like so. And then we'll just give it a stir to mix those spices through. And the thing with this is we may need to adjust the quantity of oil as those onions are cooking, just to make sure we've got enough oil in the pan to keep them caramelizing and going nicely translucent as well. All right. So just keep giving that a stir intermittently, and we'll just stop there. Okay. So we're going to give the chicken about another sort of 5 to 10 minutes before we put that in a roasting dish or a tin, and that will go into the oven. Remember, you should have your oven on now at approximately 200 degrees Celsius. That's fan. And we're going to be finishing the chicken off in the oven shortly. Lee's saying, oh my God, I should have eaten before this. Yeah, absolutely. Have some snacks on the go. I can see Nadia and Dina already snacking away. So we've got probably a good sort of 5 or 10 minutes before we need to move on to the next thing. So Nadia and Dina, if I ask you to come off mute again, why don't you randomly, a bit like The Price is Right, why don't you pick out a couple of people one at a time, just ask them to come on to say hello, where they're from, maybe just a couple of minutes with each person, if that's all right.
Shall we ask them to put their hands up because they might not want to come on?
Absolutely, do that. Yeah.
Who would like to come on?
Nobody. Hey,
Okay.
Anna and Mike.
I see. We can see Anna and Mike. So unmute yourself. Anna and Mike?
Unmute yourself, Anna and Mike.
It's down the bottom.
They're there. You've moved them.
Have they unmuted themselves yet? Anna and Mike, if you can just unmute yourselves.
Hello. So I did the last one with my friend Amira, and now I've got Mike. Nadia, I love you. I work for Hello Magazine. We cover you all the time.
Oh, God, how weird.
I follow you on Instagram. We love you. We love you. And who is a Palestinian refugee.
Hello, hi guys. Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
And how long have you been here?
2.5 years. I was a refugee in Lebanon, and then I moved to the UK recently.
Oh my God! So how does your heart feel every day?
It's tough. It's definitely tough, especially with family back home as well. Yeah.
It's like, you know, our father is Jordanian. They're right down on the Dead Sea at the moment. They're right by the Dead Sea, and my mum and dad, and we said we've never felt more Arab. It's just so strange. We've grown up here. We don't speak the language, and yet we just feel like
So
the pain of it every day, every second. It's just, and we say, don't we, every day, imagine if you've still got family there. So can we just give you a big virtual hug?
Thank you. You should learn. The Arabic language is amazing. I definitely advise you to learn it.
Yeah, well, my youngest daughter is desperate too. So I probably will end up that way, because when we were kids, we used to say, oh my God, don't speak to us in Arabic. It was the most embarrassing thing, you know.
Can you imagine going to school to the late 60s, early 70s?
South London, you didn't want to. So that's what, otherwise we probably we regret that so much.
But I'm a bit of a linguist, so I actually shock myself by how much I understand.
Yeah.
Because it's been around us a whole lifetime.
We're going to learn.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so lovely of you to join tonight. How wonderful.
Definitely, it's a good language. I speak 3 languages, so it's one of them. So definitely.
I'm so jealous.
I was born and raised in Lebanon, so we speak Arabic, English, and French. So that's
Yeah. Oh, Lebanese food. So Anna, have I actually ever met you? Have you interviewed me for Hello?
Awards. I run the social media, so I like do every single Hello event, and I'm always like being that weirdo with like the phone, being like, "Oh, do you mind just
Now you said weirdo, I can definitely put a name to the face.
Well, that's funny out of 600 people.
Just a Palestinian and somebody that I already know. How weird. Oh, thank you.
Anyone else like to say hello? Anyone else?
Who wants to put their hand up and have a chat?
Hiya.
Oh yeah, who's that?
It's me, Ellery Jones, for how you pronounce my name in the morning.
Ellery, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. But I just want to say I love you too. And I also love Mark, Teddy and Betty and even Toffee.
Oh,
and
thank
Gigi.
you so much.
I just wish to God they would do something in where I live, because when the Ukraine war happened, you know, Ukraine and Russia, everybody was just like, right, let's donate clothes, let's donate this, let's donate that, which we did. And I've got nothing against it, but nothing has happened about the Palestine war, nothing at all. I get all my news off Mark and Nadia, because I do not want to waste my money on a newspaper, which I haven't done for the past 4 years. So just, do you know what? It's so nice to even talk to you. I just feel so tearful. But
Oh,
because I've been
Ellery,
following,
can I just, yeah,
of
can
course
I
you can.
just say back to you that just that community that we have is so important to us. People are always saying to us, thank you, but you've got no idea. And you just have been there all the way through. And honestly, when you get that kind of like support from people that have no connection, no blood relatives, no nothing. And, you know, in the march last Saturday, it was just amazing to see so many people that are just there because they've got a human heart. Do you know what I mean? So thank you so much to every single person that just takes a moment without rage, without looking for what we might be saying wrong or what we might be doing perfectly, and just with a human heart says to themselves, this is just, it's got to stop. You know, so
I'll tell you one thing. I hate seeing what I'm seeing on the news. I can say one thing. I'm Welsh and I'm proud of who I am. But do you know what? It's just wish to God that even our Welsh government did something about it. You know, and well, I'm not even going to talk about the Parliament and who's in it because I can't stand the bugger. And I wish to God they would just, do you know what? I cannot stand him at all. I've just gone right off them. I do not, I'll tell you one thing, I do not vote Conservative, Labour or anything. I've always voted, well, I used to do it, Labour, but I think it was something to do with my dad. But since I thought to myself, I've got myself a voice, I've voted Plaid Cymru. And I'm sorry to say I voted Plaid Cymru because I just wanted them to have somebody else to have a seat in the government, to have maybe to talk on my behalf. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
I mean, that's what I think that so many people
and can I just say,
world are feeling voiceless, aren't they?
And can I just say one thing to you, Nadia? I have found hundreds of thousands for you. You said yes, you said in a vlog,
yes,
right, that you could not find hundreds of thousands, the right ones, but I have.
Where?
Yeah, well, it's somewhere where I live. I think it was Spar actually. It was Spar.
Old-fashioned hundreds and thousands for cakes, if anybody's wondering.
And I also found your do you call it dolly mixtures, but I couldn't send them to you because I ate them.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and you're very precious to us, Ellery. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care and good luck.
Can I just say hello, Janet? You can only see half of me. I'll come back in. And can I say hello to Ethan? If you're cooking, Ethan is an ex-pupil of mine, a dance pupil who is doing catering now. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying this evening. Hi, Tamia. I can see you there. Lisa. Hi there.
Right, ladies, sorry to just cut across you there.
No, always do. Just say, shut up, I've got to cook, and we'll never be
offended. I won't say that. I'll cut across you. Okay, so what I was just popped in the chat function is if everyone could just pop another tablespoon or two of just regular tap water straight into the chicken to stop that from drying out. That will also allow us to create a little bit of a sauce to dip the naan bread into later. It's going to be amazing. But what I'd like you to do at this point is to remove the chicken into a roasting tin or roasting dish. And we're going to now pop that in the oven that's preheated, okay? So I'm going to show you that. So I'm just going to turn the heat off under the chicken. Is that the back one?
I don't know. I think it's that one. I still haven't worked out my own cooking.
No, that's fine. You could turn that one again for me.
Turn it on.
Great.
You want it on a medium or?
Medium would be great.
It's a very Arab thing to cook with water because in Indian food there's a lot of tomato based.
That's right, yeah.
But in Arab food, we do cook with a lot of water. Can you see me? Where am I? Oh, there I am. There I am.
Can I ask one question? Yeah. Do you know the food that you're cooking?
Yes.
Can I just say, will it be available in Egypt by any chance? Do you know, like that type of meal?
Oh, are you planning on going to Egypt sometime soon?
Yes, I am. 2 weeks today.
Maybe
what part of Egypt are you going to?
I'm going to Hurghada.
Yeah, so Egyptian food is slightly different. It's more kind of similar to Lebanese, and I mean, Palestinian food is very similar to Lebanese, Syrian food. But I'm sure if you ask for it, you'll find it. You will find it. It just in Cairo, you'll definitely find it. You'll definitely find it in Cairo. Not sure about where you are going to be going. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find something very similar.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, so you can see on this screen here, so I've got all the chicken now in the roasting tray or roasting dish, uncovered. I'm just going to pop that into the oven, okay? So if I could just ask everybody just to remain on mute, please, if that's okay. I'll just mute everyone. There we go. So you can see all that chicken there. I'm going to pop that in the oven for about 5-10 minutes whilst these onions continue to brown. So I'll be back with you in 1 second.
There you go. We didn't put our own oven on, guys.
There we go.
There you go.
It'll do its thing. It'll do its thing.
Anna and Mike still looking hot. I love how Anna just gets in the shot. Yeah, girl.
Yeah. Right, let's turn the heat down a little bit.
That's set.
Is that the
No, it's
is it a
yeah.
push?
There you go.
There we go.
Trying to work out my oven.
Right, there we go. Okay, everyone. So what you'll see that in the pan that the chicken was in, you've got these lovely juices in the bottom of that pan. We're going to use that to basically dunk our bread in to make it super tasty. But what I'm going to do for the time being is I'm going to add into that another maybe 1/3 of a glass of water on a low heat, just to sort of develop some of those flavors and to keep cooking away. All right, so just about 1/3 of a cup of water into that. You have a mug? The mugs.
Mugs are
Yeah.
right.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
Mugs. I'm a mug.
So just 1/3 of a mug or a glass of water into that pan, just to allow that sauce to develop a little bit further.
Mugs, they're all there.
We're just trying to find mugs.
But yeah, I thought you wanted a big one. Do you want this mug?
Oh, that's
You know?
perfect. Yeah.
Oh, I've got.
The microphones are muted.
We've got water here. Oh my God, water from the tap.
Got water right in front of us, everyone.
Bougie here, mate.
You're right. Let's leave that
Bougie,
one there.
bougie.
That's classic.
Hi, Nadia. I'm just having a beer while I'm watching.
Raheel, you're on mute, darling.
There we go.
I'm saying those that are cooking, free Palestine, Anna. Yeah, the smell is just phenomenal. I can't tell you. It just takes me back home, to be honest.
Oh, well, as I was saying, sorry, I might have been on mute when I was just saying that. The onions should be like this. So a little bit gnarly, not super caramelized, but kind of browned. And they're done. So you can turn the heat off now under the onions, all right? The heat is on under the pan with the juice at the back there, and the sauce is developing. So we're going to leave that just for a few more minutes for those flavors to infuse into that rest of that water whilst the chicken finishes off, which is going to be about another 5 minutes. We're just a little bit behind the schedule just because we start a little bit later, but we'll have this ready in the next sort of few minutes and we'll be ready to go.
Okay, who
We're going
cares?
to remove that.
Who cares? It's a Saturday night. You know.
Do you have a little frying pan? It's the next
Yep, frying pans are in there. It's all haphazard here.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's, you know, it is what it is.
So, for those
See,
of you...
let me tell you, I cannot stand it when people put frying pans down like this.
That way.
You normally have it hanging out of the cooker so that if you pass it, it just goes flying.
Yeah, then it will go flying. Okay.
Anyway, go
thank
on,
you for that.
sorry.
Okay, everyone. So what we've got here then are some almonds. So approximately 2 tablespoons. Now you can use cashew nuts, almonds, pistachios even if you wanted to, or a combination of all of those 3. I've just blanched them. That means just putting them in some hot water, remove the skins. And what we're going to do in this frying pan is add about 1 tablespoon of oil and lightly kind of toast these almonds, which we'll then put over the top of the chicken when that's finished. Another layer of flavor. Obviously, if you have a nut allergy, leave them out altogether. That goes without saying. So I'm just going to pop a tablespoon of oil into the bottom of this pan.
And once almonds start roasting, they roast pretty quick. So you've got to get them off right, otherwise at the right time. Otherwise, they burn.
Yeah, so you really do need to keep an eye on those. So I'm just going to let that heat come to temperature with the handle that way, so it doesn't annoy Layla too much. There we go. Okay, everyone, give me a wave if you're still with us. If you're still enjoying doing this, you're still with us. Yeah, great stuff. Is it smelling good? Excellent. Fantastic. For those of you who are going to be making this later, hopefully you've taken notes, but I've also got this recorded, so I will upload it to YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, someone was asking about that.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to make it later on, they can do. And if those of you who made it now want to make it again, you can do that as well. I should also say that some of you will see Sarah, who's wearing this lovely bright red map apron right there. Sarah will be coming on towards the end of the cook along, just to talk a little bit about how the money that we're donating to MAP is being used, not just now, but as importantly for the future as well. So Sarah will be with you shortly. All right, so just hold that thought. Right, I'm going to add these almonds now into the pan, like so. And like Layla was saying, let's keep an eye on those now, because they will go dark quite quickly if you don't keep an eye on them.
Oh, well, once they go dark, they just kind of cook through really quickly as well.
Yeah.
So you've got to get them off at the right time.
Okay, right. So Layla, can I keep you some work now?
All right, I'm not scared of hard work.
Okay. So what we've got here then are some bread. So basically just some large plain bread. You can use flat bread or tandoori bread, whatever you wish. And these are quite large. So what we're going to do is just cut these into like kind of pizza slice shape, really. So each one's going to be cut into maybe 4 or 6 pieces and just put on a plate to one side, which I'll explain what we'll do with those in a little while. So we're using 3 of those naan breads here. Okay, so
is that what you want me to do?
Yes, please. If that's all right.
I mean, I'm not the best at.
Here's that. You can use that one. That's what we use for anything other than.
Okay.
So that's great.
So pizza slices.
Yeah, like sort of nice big triangles would be great. Okay. So I can see that Nadia and Dina are now, if I'm sure they already have, got everything prepped and soon ready to go. Look at that, a little dance. By the way, no cook along is complete without a cook along dance. So feel free.
No. Sorry, you're not going to get me cutting bread up while you guys have a dance. I'm not having it. Just one.
So whilst we're waiting for Layla,
un momento, por favor.
feel free to do your cook along dance. Show us your moves in the background, look. You know, give it a bit of whatever you want to. There we go. Look, Sandra's going for it. Look at that. Dina and Nadia are away with it already.
No, we're not having this.
Come on, don't be shy, people. Yeah, let me take 1 or 2 of you, and then that's it. The cascade will start. So,
Yeah.
Who are the brave people out there? Come
They're
on.
all brave. They're brave for being
A
here.
lot. Judith is giving it a bit of, yeah, go for it, Judith. Excellent.
I love
Great hip
Judith.
action.
I love. Oh look, Kaz, I love you.
Oh, and Sarah's good. See, look, that's it. The chain reaction has started. Look at this.
Yeah, they're dancing.
They're all dancing, look. You
Oh
might
my
have some
God.
music on in the background, whatever you want to do.
I've
go
got to
for it.
put on a madness.
Right, here we go.
Here goes Cindy.
Here you go.
Oh no, we're getting some music on here. I'll
We're
stick to the
getting some
cooking.
music on. And you can all dance to it. Can you hear it?
Through the speaker.
Can you hear it? We can all dance to this now while we do. Can you hear it?
Are you there? Oh, look at that. They're all going for it now.
Nadia and Dina.
Look at that pan shaking, look. This is the bit people are going to remember. That was a lovely musical interlude. Look at that. If that doesn't get you going, nothing will.
I wanted to see what Anna was doing with her man.
Who's that? Anna.
Anna.
She'll have been doing something
She is.
for sure. Everyone, let's just quickly focus on here for a second. So you'll see here that I've got the almonds, and look how nicely dark and golden brown they've gone. Just another few seconds, and we're going to turn the heat off. And we can just leave those to one side. You can drain them on a bit of kitchen paper if you wish, just to get rid of some of that excess oil. So let's turn that off. There we go. And I'm just going to pop those into another bowl.
I love toasted almonds. They are so yummy.
Right, okay, let's put the paper towel. Take that out into there.
So when you were on MasterChef, because I did MasterChef, I know Nadia did MasterChef and whatever, Nads, whatever. So what? Bothered.
She won.
Yeah, bothered. She won it,
won,
yeah. Whatever. Show off.
We can't-
Anyway, yeah,
we
yeah.
can't all
Can't
win,
be
can we?
brilliant. Whatever. Anyway, did you have to clean up after yourself?
No, not at all. The best thing about being on MasterChef is you don't have to do any of the cleaning. You just click your fingers and there's a spoon, click your fingers and you've got a spatula, whatever you need. And then all the washing gets done for you as well, which is superb.
Oh, okay. I thought you got like brownie points if you cleaned up
Oh,
after yourself.
Nothing
Because
like
I was cleaning up after myself.
that. Oh, were you?
But that's my OCD kicking in.
No, I was just leaving them to it, quite frankly.
Right.
Right, let's have a look at the chicken then. How's that coming along? Let's
Well, let's have a look.
have a look in the oven.
So, does anyone have anything to say? I know we've heard a few of you guys about what's going on. Sorry, this is like, let me turn this over to me. Yeah, who wants to say something? Send a message here and we can have a little chat. Dad, talk about the vegan and vegetarian options from Isla.
Yes, okay, so the vegan option is coming up shortly with Nadia and Dina. So in the next sort of few minutes, we're going to get on to doing the vegan Musakhan rolls. But I'm just going to show you the chicken first of all, before we do that. So what we'll say is this chicken now has been in the oven for another 10 minutes. So you can see the main thing, if I pick that up, put it closer to the camera, is that there should be no pink in the middle. It should be nice and white and opaque. That means it's cooked all the way through. All right. So that's how it should be. Hopefully they can see that okay. So that's ready. The onions are ready. Layla's already chopped up the naan bread. Have you, Layla? Yeah. A little bit more, maybe. There we go. Oh, fantastic. There we go. And now if we get a large platter. No, actually, no, we'll do that in a minute. So the final, let's turn off the heat now under everything. So the heat can go off under the sauce that was just bubbling away there. The chicken is out, the onions are off the heat, the naan is chopped up, the almonds are roasted nicely. So the finishing touches are going to happen towards the end. I guess we do that in a little while, just before serving. If you do that now, it will go cold whilst we're watching Nadia and Dina do their bit. So just leave everything covered over for the time being, so it stays nice and warm. And then we can come back to finishing that dish off. You can put a bit of foil if you wish over your chicken just to keep that nice and moist. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand it over to Nadia and Dina, aka the curly cooks of Croydon. That is a mouthful. And over to you, ladies. Show us how to do these vegan Musakhan rolls.
EastEnders.
Wait, now you're unmuted. Okay.
Some of you may not know either of us. Some of you may know me from Loose Women, EastEnders, things like that. And some of you may know me and my sister Dina from the Curly Cooks of Croydon, which goes out on our YouTube channel every Saturday morning live. Dina is a teacher, a dancer, an artist, and a bit of a pisshead. She went completely insane a few years ago and went vegan. We are Middle Eastern. We like our lamb. We like our chicken.
Yeah, but don't forget where Dad came from. I mean, Dad did live in the desert when he was a little child, and meat was of a very small importance.
Yeah. So the beans and all of that
Right.
taking place.
Yeah.
So Dina is going to start off with the vegan dish. And you could have this as a side dish. You could have this on the side with your chicken Musakhan. You can have it as a main. We did a little practice of it the other day, and I was a bit like, oh god, a mushroom wrap. because I love chicken
It ain't
musakhan.
no just mushroom wrap.
Chicken musakhan is one of my all-time favorite dishes, but it was really delicious and it's so simple. So Dina, take it away.
So I hope you've got your oven on, because that was in your instructions.
Now this is the teacher in her.
I hope you've got your oven on at 200 degrees. If you want, you can stick them in the air fryer later. So you need to put 4 generous tablespoons of olive oil into your pan. This is I've just put this on. Okay.
And
now I do, God. So anybody that doesn't know us, we butt on each other. Okay. So she's just about to say something. What did you want to say?
I'm just saying people get scared of that much oil, but what you've got to remember is it's extra, but
Why would they be scared of it?
oh, my daughter just looked, why would they be scared? Because people get scared of oil because they don't understand that the olive oil is very good for you.
And also there's,
No
you've
meat.
got no meat in this. So you want your fat, and it's a good fat. So you've got your 200 grams of chopped onions. So you're going to put those in, and a nice generous thing of salt. I can't see the salt.
Where's the salt? Anyone that
So
watches,
it's behind everything.
anyone that watches the on code
Get the salt.
knows that a lot of the time is spent going, get out of the way. Where's the salt? Where's the spoon? We are chaotic.
That was a nice big pinch. Can I have a wooden spoon?
My daughter Maddie, every Saturday, poor thing, she'll hear us screaming and shouting here for filming. And then she'll come in and she'll say, why on earth did you call it the curly cooks? It should have been the chaotic cooks.
Or the crazy
And
cooks.
she treats me like a servant. Just go and get the wooden spoon.
Okay, so has everybody, Maddie's doing a wonderful shot overhead of my onions here. So what we want here is we don't want them to be caramelized. We just want them to be translucent and glossy and softened. So we don't want any brown edges. So while I'm doing that, Nadia, do you want to
start the salad?
Yeah, so if you're doing salad with us, you can just leave your onions and then just give them a little stir here and now while Nadia does the salad. Just leave it on a real low and step aside to your chopping board where you can make your salad. So you've got 1 cos lettuce.
Oh, we've got a whole cos lettuce. Okay, right, now this is where we really do realise that Dina is a teacher and I'm a TV presenter, because I was just about to start chopping it all, but we've got to actually
showcase. Right, so we pretend we're one person. So I'm one person, I've left my onions here softening, and now I'm chopping my salad. Okay.
So just chop your salad. So Arabic salad, we had salad every single night, no matter what we were eating, didn't we?
Yeah.
My mom is British. Our mum is British. Our dad is Jordanian. And my mom was a real Francophile. She loved all things French. So, but she's a fantastic cook. We learned all our cooking from my mom and on my dad's side, my aunties. And my mom's style of cooking would be like very French bistro, with lots of lovely. So if we were having like a French bistro sort of salad, it'd be lovely French dressing, and chives and herbs and stuff. But if we were having the Arabic salad, which we used to have often, so any dish, we would always have salad included. And we used to fight each other. Remember to remember the wooden salad bowl? And we would fight each other, wouldn't we, to have the bread to get the dressing at the bottom.
I mean, we were born in the 62 and 64.
I'm 60 this year, guys.
Yeah, she's young. So salad is not a thing. Literally, my friends used to come around and like, what is that? What is that bowl? I'm like, it's a bowl of salad.
And my dad and our cousins, actually Elias, who's Palestinian, they would go, and we used to love it. They used to go to Smithfield markets, didn't they? And they'd buy a whole lamb.
Yeah.
So we'd love it. If we had friends around, we'd go, oh, can you go to Smithfield when we've got friends around? Because we used to love the fact they'd walk in with a whole lamb.
Yeah.
Like, these terribly British friends of ours that were having fish fingers and chips were like, was that a lamb that just walked in?
I mean, salad at Nan's, who's mum's mum, English mum, salad at Nan's was 2 slices of cucumber, 2 slices of tomato, a lettuce and some salad cream.
Yeah, but Arabic salad to us is a finely cut salad, probably even more finely cut than that, and lots of lemon and salt and olive oil. And you know, you can add whatever you want to it. Radishes is quite a thing in the Middle East. We love a radish.
Right, stop there. Oh, because the one person is leaving the salad now, and she's going to add her pine nuts. Okay. So if you've got your 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, you need to add those in now. All right. If you're allergic to nuts, leave them out. It doesn't matter. It's just just a nice added extra. Also, if you are allergic to nuts, but you can tolerate seeds, sunflower seeds would be lovely.
With sesame seeds?
Yeah.
And gizzard,
nigella seeds. Yeah,
nigella seeds.
Anything kind of sort of got that little nutty pow.
I love pine nuts.
So again, you're going to leave that for a little bit, and so you can carry on with your salad.
I find pine nuts so evocative. I just love them. They just transport me to another land. Fried pine nuts, and it would. We grew up cooking with the family, didn't we, Dina?
Yeah.
And it was like my mum and dad used to have lots of parties, and my dad, who's an actor, would always when he was in a movie or something, he would always have the wrap party at his house.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, really famous actors come to our little house in South London.
Yeah.
And we'd be all tasked with the cooking, and one of the jobs we used to be given was frying the nuts. And it was like the sword of Damocles, I never know how to say that, over your head if you burnt the nuts. Because nuts will carry on cooking after you've taken them off the stove.
They're a little bit sort of easier in the they're comforted by these onions here. They've got a little blanket, so they're not going to burn too much, and they're not going to brown.
Going all poetic. By your what?
By the blanket of onion. Okay, so stop, because there's only one of us. Right. So now I'm going to add your 350 grams of chunky chopped mushrooms. All right. Okay, and then you want to get those all amalgamated with the lovely oil of the onions. So, you know, all mushrooms are different that you buy. If this is a fresher mushroom, it might suck up that oil that we put in the pan. So we'll see, we may need to add a little bit more oil. So sometimes when you're looking at a recipe and it says 4 tablespoons, and then you think, well, that's just not working. Just
add a bit more.
Just push a bit more in.
And remember, for those of us that watch us regularly, we always give this tip. When you buy your mushrooms, bring them home, put them on the windowsill, because they will actually absorb more sunlight and they will become richer in vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important. Right, so is that going to cook on? Shall I do the salad?
So while you're making your salad, leave it there and then just give it a quick stir in between if you're doing both things at once.
Yeah. So I've got the fresh mint. Oh, Dina. Oh my God.
That's Maddie.
Right now we're back in our childhood home with our aunties gossiping, chatting, chopping, causing trouble.
Yes.
Layla will know about that. Crazy families. And some parsley. You can put coriander if you want, but actually in Jordan they don't use coriander. It's not we don't use it, do we?
No, it's just not a Middle East. No, I know, Layla, for you it's massive. And actually, I'm doing I'm going to run off in a minute because I've got some girls coming for dinner, and I'm doing Moroccan tonight. You'll be pleased to know.
Oh, Moroccan
dishes. Moroccan, and I know coriander features heavily. Okay, so we've got all of that sort of sweated nicely. And now we can add our spices. So it's 1 teaspoon, a good teaspoon of allspice. Yum. Oh, look, I've actually got some measuring spoons. So anybody that watches the Curly Cooks of Croydon knows quite often I can't find them.
Usually because you left them in the sink.
So this is a mixture of a lot of spices.
Oh.
No, this is allspice berry. I always get a baccarat. This is just such a unique spice. And it is just conjures up Middle Eastern. So you've got your 1 teaspoon of allspice, and then I'm going to have my sumac, please, which you've added into your musakhan if you're doing the chicken version, and a tablespoon and a half of that.
That lovely, rich, deep red that gives it's a lemon
There is
flavor.
no way to describe this.
No.
Nice. It is nice, isn't it?
It's not hot. It's just very, very flavoursome.
So get all of your onions and mushrooms covered. Yeah, habibi.
Ya habibi.
Yeah, habibi.
No,
Habibi.
Maddie and I watched Housewives of Beverly Hills. Maddie
New York
was
City.
on the camera at New York City. And one of the New York ladies went to, was it Morocco?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she was constantly all the way through the episode says, "Ya habibi, ya habibi."
Well,
And
can you
it's so cute.
explain what yeah, habibi means to
My
be?
darling, my sweetheart, ya
Okay.
habibi. There's lots of songs, isn't there, with ya habibi?
So you guys, if you're cooking along, can you really smell that sumac coming through the onions now?
Oh, yum.
And now I'm going to, I said 60 mils of stock. We'll start with 60. We may need some more. 4 tablespoons of 60 mil.
This is honestly, guys, I can't tell you how ridiculous it is watching her measuring things.
Actually,
We never measure anything.
actually, if you've got any more stock, put a little bit more in. If you haven't, add some water.
Look at you going off with your measuring. Look with your tablespoons.
Well,
Yeah, it is what
we
we
don't.
need.
The funny thing is, we don't write recipes. We just do it.
Yeah.
So when Raheel said, "Oh, can you write the recipe?" I was like, "Oh, that means I'm gonna have to make it and see what I actually do." Okay, so that is gonna just down a little bit now. And now, do you wanna?
Okay, so we're back to being one person. You've turned down your mushrooms.
Just leave them.
They're just going to cook nicely. We've got our salad, just really simple salad. Hog lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, parsley, mint. If you can get to a Middle Eastern, Turkish, is that Raheel? I think somebody's unmuted. If you can get the little baby cucumbers, delicious, really lovely. Fresh mint, fresh parsley, and now we're just going to make the easiest salad dressing in the world. Just lemon. Like I said, my mum was making like the French salad. We knew it was mustard.
Yeah.
We learned how to make dressings so young, didn't we? We were making dressings as babies. So good squeeze of lemon.
You can turn your mushrooms and onions off now. They should be softened nicely.
And a good couple of glugs of olive oil. Can you pass me the salt?
We had it earlier. It's in front of you.
Salt. And I'm also going to put in some sumac. And just a little, like a little quarter of a teaspoon, something like that, half a teaspoon. Oh, I love this spice. And it's so wonderful because when we were growing up, the only way you could get sumac was when our relatives came. And my auntie Jamili was the funniest, wasn't she? Most outrageous woman. And she'd arrive with this suitcase of like spices and nougats and breads and all the things you're not supposed to take.
And then we all stank of sumac for weeks.
And then there was this funny story that one of our aunties was coming over to London from Jordan, and her son, who was at university here, had asked for all these delicious dishes like cabbage rolls and all these different Jordanian dishes. And
where does the mint go?
Into the salad.
Goes in with the lettuce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And well, we'll wait till that's cooked. I'm not going to put the dressing now. Anyway, she was asked at custom, do you have anything that you shouldn't bring in? Do you have any meats? Do you have any this? Do you have that? Do you have any food? No, nothing. Anyway, so they searched her and they went, look at all this. There's bars of cabbage rolls and meat rissoles and all this. And they said, this is food. You cannot call this food. This is snacks. It's just snacks, not food. Anyway, so are you ready to roll up? Let's move this out of the way.
Yeah. So you've got your salad prepped. Do you need to ask us something? We did just tell us to shut up.
We are mute.
Right, so okay. So you should have a nice baking tray ready. Let's put a little bit of olive oil onto that.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah. So just wash it on. Wash it on. Lovely. And then for some bizarre reason, I said get 5 wraps, and I don't know why, but I'm a little bit peculiar.
What an odd number.
What an odd number. 5. There's 4 in the family and 1 extra. 4. 1 vegan who's going to get very full. So let's just ask out there. Let's have a hands up for how many vegan people we've got watching. Anyone up there? Just your hands up. You don't need to speak. You don't need to speak.
Baby, hands up.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. So have you noticed I didn't add salt because you've got the stock
Mm.
and the lemon.
Mm.
It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, so good. So dip your pastry brush into some of that juice in there. Yep, and brush your wrap. Okay. And if you haven't got any juice, you may not, because it just depends on your mushrooms, your onions. So if you decided to use frozen onions, you may have got a lot more juice. Okay,
but it's so juicy anyway, it doesn't matter.
And then you're going to spoon. Let's look. So I'm going to do 5. Well, I'll do 6 actually. Put it about this end, a third of the way along. Yeah. Okay. So then you're going to
roll it. I love rolling.
Okay.
So roll,
tuck,
fold, fold, and then as you're rolling, keep tucking.
Oh, she's very good.
Keep tucking, and then you can just put another little extra bit of juice like that. Roll and stick.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that again, guys?
Do it again. I'll put a bit more mixture this time.
Yeah. I was going to say it's a bit mean.
So first of all, brush, and if you've run out of juice, just add olive oil and make it delicious.
If this, it's so juicy, Dina. I don't think it needs it. So mushroom in. Roll, tuck under, fold, fold. I'll go a bit slower. Roll, and you see how when I'm rolling, I'm tucking at the same time. That's it. Okay.
Marvelous. I think you should do them all now. Get them in. Get them in. It doesn't matter if a little bit comes out.
Yeah.
This is not the perfect cookery show.
No, it's
Never is. You should join us on a Saturday morning if you want to learn something or not learn something. Some people said I didn't learn a thing. Show last week, but we had a great laugh.
We did. And it's the Sawala Adelies is the YouTube channel if you want to find it. Oh, hang on. So roll, tuck. Oh, come here. Tuck. Just be quite masterful. Be masterful.
Yeah, don't panic.
If your tortilla wraps are playing you up, just make them completely and entirely aware who's in charge. Don't be frightened by them. Don't be pushed off the rump bed. Just keep pushing through, pushing on.
You didn't brush that wrap. She didn't brush
the last one either.
Okay.
I got bored of it.
Okay.
And it's fine.
Folks, if you've got the time,
yeah,
brush your wrap.
Brush your wrap, but on no circumstance be bullied by the damn things. Just keep rolling, just keep pushing on.
We are trying to make this a jovial Saturday night, as you may have recognised.
It's Saturday night.
We want to remember that food is a great way to bring people together. And we want to celebrate Musakhan, which is a Palestinian national dish discovered in the village of Musmus.
Yeah.
And it is a dish that they eat sort of midweek, or they can have as a
special dish. Yeah. And I think tonight we really wanted to, you know, Dina and I and, you know, Raheel and Layla, I think there is so much sadness. We don't know what to do with ourselves. I had a really bad day today.
She did it differently.
With the sadness of it all and with the frustration of it all. And I thought, you know what, tonight we're just going to celebrate the absolutely the beauty of
Palestinian culture.
Yeah. And like ours, like our family, you know, like we're joking there about when our friends used to come around, the hospitality, and nobody goes hungry. You sit down, you eat. And we're seeing those in some of the videos that we're seeing, you know, just when they are literally starving and sharing the last few bits of rice, and that is it. My dad always told us this beautiful story when we were growing up. He was horrified by how we all ate. He goes, "You're eating like hoovers," because we'd sit down and we go. And my dad had grown up, you know, around the Bedouin culture. And he said where people had maybe traveled for miles across the desert, and they would sit and they would come to somebody's tent, and whatever you had, you would offer it. And he said you knew these people would be thirsty and be hungry. They'd bring milk and they'd bring dates, and they would sit and they would just wait, and they would just have the tiniest amount.
Yeah.
It always used to make us feel really bad about ourselves.
Greedy. Very greedy.
Very greedy. But yeah, so tonight for us was about celebrating that hospitality, connecting with, because I think we can all feel so alone, can't we? Like, are we the only people that are realizing this is insane, what's going on? And then so to connect with so many people that feel the same way and want to, you know, and want to make a difference in whatever little way they can. So if you want to donate, guys, MAP is the, you know, is a fantastic charity, and they really do good work. And everybody that we asked when we were looking for a charity ourselves, everyone said MAP, didn't they? MAP did. And these are from PSC, the Palestinian Solidarity campaign. They're the ones that organise all the marches and everything. And these have actually come from Palestine rather than Amazon, which, and be careful buying these from Amazon, because we have heard that some Israeli people Israeli people have been selling fake ones and then laughing a lot about that. So we don't want to do that.
So
Try and buy from a reputable
yeah.
place.
So strangely enough, I have some mixture left, which I didn't have mixture left. So these mushrooms were rather juicier than the other mushrooms. So once you've all got those on the tray, give them a good old brush of olive oil and whack them in the oven. Actually, we're just going to not squeeze them up like that so that they can crisp up around the edges. That's what we want. You want them nice and crispy.
But the thing is, Raheel is the master of the cook-along. We are the master of chaos. This was incredibly difficult.
Yeah,
for us to do
that was
step by step.
so hot. Okay, I'm going to go and put them in the oven while my assistant finishes the salmon.
But I thought we were one person.
Yeah,
They're one person.
one person.
So
Rolls in the
but your rolls in the oven, one person.
and then go back and finish your salad.
And finish the salad. Actually, I'm not going to finish. I don't want to put the dressing on yet. So I want it to be crisp.
Okay.
So we'll wait until they come out.
By the way, folks, I told you to put your oven on 200. Let's just whack it up to 220. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Or I'll stick them in the air fryer.
I don't even know how you do a cook-along.
No, we can't do cook-alongs.
Just chop them down.
Good. Yeah.
And then there's
So they're in the oven now for how long? Now, Raheel, do you need to go back to your cooking? Because if not, we've got some things here we can talk about and show. But if you need to go back to your cooking, we can go back to.
yes, please, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Thank you so much. That was amazing. That time just flew by. We've got
I
our
know.
vegan rolls in the oven. The salad is being chopped. We're just playing catch up on that, but it looks superb. It smells great. So what we're going to do is finish off on the chicken Musakhan dish, and then we'll do a little bit of chat. I want to bring Sarah in as well in terms of the charity side of things, and then we can do a bit of a wrap up. Can everyone still see? Can you see this dish at all, everybody? The ones that I've got my hands in? Yeah, great. Okay. So this is how we're going to then do this bit. So we need the naan that you soaked earlier. Sorry, that you cut up earlier. And what we're going to do is we're going to dip that into the sauce and then pop it on the platter and build it up that way.
So show them what you're doing and I'll move this out of the way.
No, I'm going to do it into there.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they see that pot?
I think see that. Can you see that, everyone?
Oh, that.
Ah, no. So yeah, that's might be a little bit trickier, but that's all right.
Yeah. Show
So-
them one and then I'll bring this forward.
Okay, great.
Go on, show them another.
So this pan, everybody, that's got all those lovely juices in, what I'm going to do is basically dunk a bit of bread in there like so, not for long, and then pop it into the platter. So we don't want to pop it in there too long, otherwise that bread will just disintegrate, and we don't want that to happen. So like so, and keep going until either you've used up all your bread or until all the sauce is finished, one way or another. So we're going to do that. So that'll just take.
That's like shampoo and conditioner, isn't it? You always finish one before the other.
Yeah.
I can never get that one.
Well, that's
Right.
exactly right. Yeah. Well, someone who's not got much hair, I can't really vouch for that, but I'll take your word for it. There we go. And the beauty of doing this is that bread will go really nice and soft. It's going to soak up all those amazing flavors that we've got in the bottom of that pan. So this is just a little bit time consuming, but won't take us too long. And obviously
done.
you can do as much naan as you wish. There we go. Let's do a few more pieces, do a few at a time.
Like, how many cup was that? That's just one piece of bread, wasn't it? Was
No,
that
that
just
was
one?
three.
Oh, that was
Three in the end.
three.
Yeah, I cut a few more in the end.
Oh, I was
So
thinking, oh gosh, I can't remember cutting that much. Many.
yeah, so we're gonna just do a few more. Well, may as well do it all now.
Just just put them all in, guys.
So there we go. We actually, we'll probably run out of the sauce before we get through all the naan.
I don't think so. Do you want to put a bit on
Quite
it,
a bit,
Raheel?
isn't there?
Do you want to put a bit on it?
A bit on it.
A bit
Oh,
on
a
it.
bit on it.
A bit. No, the sauce, there's plenty of sauce
There's
there.
loads of sauce, yeah. We're nearly done with that now. And then we can pour some of that sauce. Been a
Amazing.
while whispering. There we go. We'll give that platter a bit of a clean down before we serve up. It's all about presentation, you know, as well as flavour.
Yeah, you eat with your eyes, don't you,
You
sometimes?
certainly do. There we go.
Is that enough cucumber? Should do the whole cucumber.
You can, no, half would be great. Okay, so that's the, so you can put that down in there. Thank you very much. So that's the naan. Then the next thing will be the onions, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Special
So,
effects courtesy of Naz.
if you take your onions and just sprinkle those over the naan, so everyone gets a little bit of that as they're eating.
My
that.
daughter's just had some sushi and I think she's regretting it now.
I'm sure
Look at
she,
that
I'm
in
sure
there,
she
yeah.
left some space, have you, for this? And then we're going to make it look colourful in a minute, because at the moment it's all quite one-dimensional.
Are
and
we
beige.
using pomegranates and stuff?
How did you know?
Because honey, we're talking
How
about
did you know?
Palestine.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Arab.
Right.
Yeah, we're Arab. We're Arabs.
So there goes the onion, and then we can just nestle the chicken pieces over the top like so.
I'm having the neck bit. It's my favourite bit.
Pop that on there for you, but there you go.
Grazie.
And there's the chicken. So we've got a few more bits then. So what we need.
Why did you take the skin off then, Raheel?
So I prefer, to be honest, one, I prefer it without the skin on.
Yeah.
But secondly, I just feel like it allows the sauce, the flavors to penetrate a little bit more into the
Okay.
skin, into the flesh.
Right.
But I know people like crispy skin as well. So to be
Yeah,
honest, you
I
can do
do
either.
like crispy skin.
And what you can see, everyone, is me just spooning some of that remaining sauce over those pieces of chicken just to keep them nice and moist. So that's that.
More sauce. I think.
We'll do that tonight.
No, sorry.
Then what we've got are those almonds that we toasted earlier, so they can go over for a little bit of crunch and a little bit of extra flavour.
Come on, Mike, keep up. Anna, Mike, come on.
I will recap this in a minute. Now comes the colour, everyone. So some parsley, freshly chopped parsley over the top. And you can do as much or as little as that you like. And then final thing, as Layla already had said, are the pomegranate seeds. So you can sprinkle those over as well for a burst of colour.
This is definitely an Instagram picture, isn't it?
Hopefully, I'm going to give it a little wipe now down
Yeah.
the side, and then we'll be good to go. There we go. And grab a piece of tissue, just give it a nice clean, just make sure that's all nice for presentation. And there we have it, everybody. That's quite a feast. So that's the chicken Musakhan. Loads of flavors, the primary flavor being the sumac. You can do this as I've done it with chicken. You could do it vegan, vegetarian. Just feel free to experiment and do it in your own different way. But hopefully you're going to enjoy that. You can spoon the rest of those sauces over the top if you wish. There you have it, chicken Musakhan. What do you think, Layla?
I just can't wait to get into that because I haven't eaten all day. I've been waiting for this. I'm not going to lie. I only have like breakfast and one meal. That's all I can manage in a day. So, well, yeah, because usually I eat by 5, 6. So this is beautiful. It looks really good.
Oh, thank
And
you.
it looks very Arab as well with the pomegranate.
Indeed, and we've got to do the salad yet. But what I'm going to do is, Layla just wants to mention something else to you as well. But before we do that, and before some of you go off to eat, I just wanted to let you know that the next Come Dine for Palestine event is live to book onto. It's on Friday, the 8th of March. So we've done a couple on a Friday. Obviously, today's is a Saturday. We're going back to the Friday just because some people can't do the Saturday and keep swapping it over. So that's the 8th of March. That will be on my story and in my bio, the link to join. So you can do that. And we're going to be making a butter chicken, actually. So we're not doing anything. Yeah, so we're not doing anything Palestinian, but we are doing a really classic butter chicken. You can do it as a butter paneer or a tofu if you want vegan or veggie. So hopefully you're going to join into that one. And finally, just to say thank you so much for joining in. Please do donate generously. You've got both of those links in the chat. Moderators will put that in there for you once more. And actually, moderators, if you wouldn't mind just putting into the chat function how much we've raised so far. This will be including the previous 2 cook-alongs we've done as well. So that would be great to see what that figure is. And I'm going to hand over to Layla very quickly, and then I'll come back to you, Sarah. So Layla, over to you.
So firstly, like Rahil said, thank you so much, everyone, for paying, for being here, for cooking along. And there's loads of you that have actually bought tickets and not even turned up, but you've done it through the goodness of your heart. And it really means so, so much. Now, Naz and I, who is behind the PR, we went to a medical aid for Palestinians supper a while back, and we raised, honestly, they raised a good amount of money. And I met a guy there who did a speech who completely blew me away. He's just one of the most wonderful human beings I've ever met. He's a doctor who actually goes to Palestine a few times every year, and he goes to the Al-Shifa, to Gaza, to Al-Shifa hospital. He's a colon cancer specialist, and he goes there, trains the guys up. Then he does his surgery. When he comes back, he does his surgery. He takes like 10 suitcases with him full of stuff, medical aid and equipment that they need in the hospitals, etc. And he teaches here when he does his theatre day, which I think is on a Monday. He has a live feed, and you know, he teaches them so people can, doctors in Gaza, the hospitals can stop him and say, oh, what do you mean by this? Da, da, da. Anyway, I was really lucky to host him here last Saturday. And basically it costs about 50 to 70,000 pounds per trip to send 10 doctors out to Gaza. And he's so brave. He's so passionate about this. He was actually in Gaza. He went
2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago. And I don't know if you read in the press that there were 4 or 5 British doctors that were bombed. But he was one of them. He was in the safe house, which is, you know, supposedly safe, and they have a safe route. So the IOF give them the route to take, but their safe home was bombed. And he was there for 5 days, and he took as many suitcases as he could, and he had to go via the Rafah crossing. So he had to go fly into Cairo, then drive to Rafah, drive to the border, etc., etc. But it's so important that we have people like Dr. Qureshi going to Gaza, not only to help and to share their expertise, but to come back to us and tell us the stories firsthand so that we know where our money is going. Now, I don't do that much. I don't associate myself with that with a lot of charities, because for various reasons, but medical aid for Palestine is something that, look, there's loads of food going there. There's loads of stuff going there. There's an abundance of it. But medical aid there's a shortage, and we know what's happening. We know that the trucks are being, you know, stopped from going in. And it's people like Dr. Qureshi that can come back to us and give us the stories firsthand, that can tell us the devastation and the resilience of the Palestinian people. They are my chosen people. In fact, he said to me, he believes that their DNA has changed over years, because that's what happens with human DNA, that they've become so resilient and so strong that he believes that they're probably the most resilient people that are walking this earth. So your money is going to a good cause. So please, I beg of you, donate what is affordable, what you can afford. Please support the charity, because it does some bloody amazing work. And I am really proud to be here with Nadia and Dina and Rahil. You know, I just feel like part of a community, and that's what this is. This is about building our own community away from what we're reading in the Western press, and just dealing with the situation as human beings, regardless of colour, religion, sexuality, anything like that. This is about one human being helping another. And thank you so much for being here, especially you, Anna and Mike.
Thank you so much, Layla, for that. And yeah, a really impassioned plea to continue to help with this amazing charity that we've been working with as partners for the last 3 cook-alongs. And on that note, that's a really great segue into Sarah. Sarah will introduce herself shortly. Sarah, I'll just ask you to unmute yourself. If you could just give us, oh, sorry, just do that again. Apologies. I muted you at the same time as you unmuted yourself. Yes, if you could just talk to us a little bit about what's going on at the moment in terms of what the charity are doing and what your plans are moving forwards, please.
Well, firstly, thank you all so much. I am Sarah. I am very honoured to be chair of the board for Medical Aid for Palestinians. I first went to Palestine in 2014, very naive, and fell in love very quickly, is my honest answer to my experience there. And if you'll indulge me, I won't speak for long, but I just wanted to talk to you about some of my fond memories of time in Gaza. I watched the live feed with Nadia and her sister and Raheel the other night on Instagram, and then reached out to Raheel and said, you know, maybe actually sharing some beautiful stories from there is as important as the aid that we're trying to get in and the work we're trying to do. My sister's here with me, and I said to her earlier, I really hope I don't get emotional on this, so if I do, please bear with me. I'm not Palestinian, I'm not Arab, but I have spent so much time in that region and so much time in Gaza and the West Bank, and have very dear friends there, so for me this is very personal. But I used to work I work in the humanitarian sector. I used to work with an organisation that worked for unaccompanied children, and unlike institutional care, they built villages with homes where orphan children were brought up together with essentially a mother, and it's a beautiful concept that worked very well. And I spent many a time there, and not many people went to visit them. So what was hilarious is they would all draw straws of who got to cook which meal, because food is so important in the culture. And I would often get complaints that somebody regularly got the breakfast straw rather than the dinner straw. They also had great concerns that I was never going to get married because I wasn't fat enough and couldn't cook. And so they would spend endless hours teaching me how to cook. And apologies for any Arabs on this call for my pronunciation, but malfouf is something that is a labour of love, but one of my favourite dishes. And Nadia, I think you referred to, it was either you or Layla that referred to the cabbage rolls, and that is essentially what it is. But everything was a labour of love, and I feel like that's really important to celebrate this evening, as we've cooked this amazing dish and my kitchen smells phenomenal, and you're probably all wanting to eat and not hear from me. But I felt a real need to humanise and to talk about individuals. And you know, I have dear friends there, Wasal, Sami, Nohar, who are all struggling, and we regularly, when we message, we talk about when we will get to break bread again, which is such an important part of the culture. But in terms of what MAP is doing, I cannot stress what an honour it is to represent an organisation that has been a small NGO and is now a medium NGO, because of all of this amazing support and it is there. We were the first to respond on the 7th of October. I have a colleague, Mahmoud, who is an absolute hero. You can see him through our MAP posts and his own Instagram and Twitter or X following. He's remained in the north of Gaza. He has gone out and procured every last bit that is in warehouses that wasn't able to be shared because of the heavy bombing, and he is distributing dignity kits to schools, to refugees, to individuals. He is an absolute hero, and my heart just it just goes out to such an amazing gentleman. So whilst these are terrible times, like, I do want to celebrate such a strong individual. Layla, you referenced our emergency medical teams, the EMTs that go out, and yes, the second one was bombed, and those houses are deconflicted. The Israeli forces are aware of where our locations are. But what was also very difficult was the response we got from international support was far stronger than that for Palestinians, which is very difficult to comprehend. We've managed to get 26 trucks. I know some of you have been asking Raheel about aid getting in and out of Gaza. We've managed to get 26 trucks in with medical drugs, medical supplies, food and non-food items. What's really brilliant about the collaboration is we work in clusters. So no NGO in Gaza is working solo. We work together with other NGOs to really maximize donations and to pull together the skill sets of these different NGOs. And so everything's going further than it normally would, which is one of the great things that's happening here. One of our main focuses at the moment is, as we are desperately waiting for that ceasefire. That changes on a daily basis of how long that will be, what that will mean, and how much you can move. Obviously, I'm in this quite deeply, so I don't know what other people know, but the last ceasefire, we weren't allowed to move anything above Wadi Gaza, so you weren't allowed to move anything north into the northern part of Gaza. We don't know what this ceasefire will entail, but we've got various plans so that we can respond in all the ways that we need to, both as MAP and then in our cluster. So, huge thank you for your solidarity, for your donations. I may not be Palestinian, I may not be Arab, but if I was a stick of rock and you cut me in half, it would say Palestine the whole way through. And every single donation that happens allows us to pre-plan and allows us to be able to do the maximum that we can in a way that's meaningful. I'm sorry if I'm talking too long, Raheel, just cut me off if you need, just mute me if you need to, but I did just want to touch on two other things. One is, of course, we can't forget the West Bank and Lebanon. So we're also pre-positioning in both of those areas. The violence and the escalation of violence and the impunity in the West Bank is quite terrifying. So we are pre-positioning. They've never, as a space, not just MAP, but there's never really been the setup for an emergency response. And at the moment, we're making sure that if things do change and continue to escalate, we're able to respond and support in the best possible way we can. You may have seen back in September, we now provide medical staff bulletproof vests and bulletproof helmets so that they can respond without being injured or killed themselves. So the situation there gets less coverage, but is as important. One of the things to end on is that I get asked regularly, what can we do? How can we support? What more can we do? And trust me, the frustration is so real, and no matter how many hours or how much time I give, it doesn't feel anywhere near enough. But there are some things. So with Medical Aid for Palestinians and the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign, there is a lot of opportunities for advocacy. Even if your MPs don't respond, keep going, because the rhetoric is changing and they will start to respond. And don't feel like you need to give up. The marches matter. My friends in Palestine, particularly on Al Jazeera, they see the photographs of the number of people on the street, and it matters to them that they're no longer a statistic, that they're a human and people care, even if governments don't. And for me, one of the most important things is the rhetoric. I say this as Sarah, as an individual, and not as chair of the board at MAP, but I write to media agencies when they say 10 Israelis were killed, 50 Palestinians died. They didn't die, they were killed. When Israel says it defends its borders, it hasn't declared its borders because they keep taking more land. We can change that rhetoric and we can fight that fight, and it gives a voice to those that don't have one. I say that very clearly, not as the chair of the board at MAP, but as an individual that's very pro-Palestinian, and it's each to their own as to what they want to do. But if we can change that rhetoric, it really does make a difference. Other than that, I'm afraid we watch, we wait, and we're prepared to respond as best we can when we can. So Raheel, I spoke for more than 5 minutes, which I promised you I wouldn't do, but back to you.
Sarah, thank you so much for that. And no, don't feel bad at all for giving us your time and all of that information. It must have been extremely difficult for you to have gone through all that with us. And you can just see the faces around the screen. Just everyone just holding on to that, any little bit of hope that we can make a difference. I'm sure I speak for many people here that when this all first started, there was a lot of anger, a lot of despair, a lot of hopelessness about what we could do. And I think we need to continue with the hope that we can make a difference for the people of Palestine. Hopefully events like this, albeit on a very small scale, go some way to making a difference. And it's just our little way of trying to help as much as we can. But we remain in solidarity with Palestine.
Raheel, you just reminded me, the last thing on my page to say was a huge thank you to you. You have been such a champion of the Palestinian cause. And in fact, even though I'm on the board, I got my apron from Raheel's first cook-along for Matt in the first lockdown, like the OG lockdown. So apologies, Raheel, I was meant to thank you so much profusely for what you're doing and the galvanization of others. So apologies, I got so caught up in what I was saying, I didn't say it, but I will now mute myself again.
No, don't apologize at all. You know, it's, for me, it's more important that people continue to have that hope and continue to support as best we can. I just want to sort of finish off by saying a really big thank you to Nadia and to Dina for helping and joining in today and making what looks delicious, by the way. I can't wait to tuck into both of those things. Thank you so much. Please do follow them on the Curly Cooks of Croydon, and I'm sure you'll see some more amazing recipes. Did you want to say anything before we finish up, Nadia and Dina?
Can't hear you. Can't hear you, lads.
Just unmute yourself once more. Sorry, Nadia, we can't hear you just yet.
Just thank you, as Sarah said, thank you to you and Layla for doing it. It's a big deal to organise something like that. Thank you for inviting us and helping us, just like, you know, and thank you for those two beautiful speeches. Sorry, I'm too upset to remember your names. You really, really moved us, both of you, from Matt. And yes, fantastic charity, and donate where you can. And we did finish it. There it is.
As crazy as these two girls are, they always get the job done. This is the scariest thing. I don't know how they do
Get
it.
your wraps out the oven.
Get your wraps out the oven.
Yeah, get wraps out the oven.
To every single person. I know a lot of people from our followers from our Instagram and our YouTube channel joined tonight. And as ever, we thank you so much. In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinian, I think.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Nadia and Dina, and also Layla. Thank you so much for letting me cook in your kitchen, for co-hosting this evening, and for also giving us that vital information earlier as well about the doctor situation, how we can help with that. So, did you want to say anything?
I've just had an absolute ball. I'd love to do this again. If you guys want to buy tickets for the next one, it's all on Raheel's page. Please, even if you can't make it, it's, you know, it's not a lot of money. If you can donate after this as well, please do. It's going to a brilliant cause. And like Nadia said, you know, we're all Palestinian, and no one's free until we're all free. And that's something that should resonate with everybody. And the work that Medical Aid for Palestinians do is just absolutely phenomenal. Your money's going to a really good cause. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Layla. So just very finally then, just to say, I hope, as much of an important and at times a really kind of upsetting scenario this is, I'm hoping you've still been able to take part in an event that you've enjoyed, that we've represented the Palestinian people and their culture and their food, and that hopefully somewhere along the line they'll see what we're doing and know that we're standing with them in solidarity. So hopefully you'll all join in, or some of you will join in, or maybe even more people. Spread the word. 8th of March, Friday the 8th of March. We'll hopefully see you all then. Thanks for now.
Kaz Rowley is totally representing. Can you see the Palestinian?
Absolutely, yeah.
Charlotte Aberdeen is already eating. Come on, Charlotte, don't waste any time.
Excellent. Sorry we've not been able to get round to all or many of you to say hi, but obviously there's a lot to get through. So enjoy your meal, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Now feel free to come off mute and say hello or dance your way off. Whatever you fancy.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Love you, Nat.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
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 Palestine.
Bye, Ellery.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Free Palestine.
Bye. Free Palestine.
Love you, Nadia and Dina.
Bye.
Bye, Nadia and Dina.
You say it.
Bye. Thank you.
Hey, Louisa.
Big up to the free game.
Hi, Gary. Ida, Cynthia, thank you for joining me.
Who said that? Hello? Hello? Bye. Did you hear my name? Who said that? Somebody said bye.
They're gonna say
Bye.
bye.
Bye, Imran.
Everyone take care. Bye.
Bye, Imran.